Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Your support helps the channel go. Hey, let's talk about bottom tier medium tanks and how to play them. We're going to talk about specifically how to work around the edges of a battle and stay alive. You can see that I've loaded into Fiery Salient here. I'm in my tier 6 British medium tank, the Firefly, which is an outstanding tank. Kind of a mix between a medium and a TD with a turret, actually, is a great way to describe it. But I am bottom tier in a tier 8 battle. Well, at 750 hit points, you can see that I'm about a 2-shot from any one of those heavies that are on the other side. The IS-3, the IS-6, the Defender, even the TDs. I'm almost a 1-shot potentially to the ISU. And the RHM as well if he's using the big gun. What does that mean? That means I've got to be very careful to not take any more hits than I absolutely have to. If I was a tier 8 medium in a tier 10 battle, I could actually take more than 2 hits, except for some of the very large alpha guns out there. So as a tier 6 medium, you are really in danger in a match like this. So what I'm going to do here is work over to the west side, and you can see that we've got quite a few guys headed over to the east side. On Fiery Salient and Proc, which are two very similar maps, this 1-2 line can become quite a camp fest. Because it's encounter, it's a little bit different because they probably won't send as many tanks over here. And let's see if I'm right about that. Pretty standard to have an LTTB or a scout medium kind of tank moving around on the middle of the map. And this is a decent spot. The depression on this tank is not great. It's good but not great. So it's less than you would think. If you're used to the M4 kind of depression, be careful because it can trick you. You'll find yourself exposing yourself more than you want. You'll see right here what I'm talking about. And these little ridges are kind of a pain. I'll bounce that shot, because you'll see that it actually brings my tank up into the air a little bit more than I want, and I have depression issues. So I'm not able really to poke with that great depression over this ridge the way I would like. You can see those little furrows right there. That will bring the nose of your tank up, and it's kind of a pain. You'll see that I actually move sideways and come up and sort of not allow it to push the nose of my tank up any more than I have to. Now I'm spotted. I'm just going to take that last shot, that T-29. I don't know what he's doing. He's decided to just YOLO right in there. We do have a couple guys back here, a Scorpion G, which is really good. It's what you want while you're spotting and helping these guys. The SPIC is doing the spotting, by the way. And we end up taking the T-29 down. So I'm working the edges of the battle, hanging back. Not something I usually do, but you've got to take a look at what you're faced with and what your team competition is and what you're driving and make a good decision. You can see that the battle over on the hill is raging. Nobody's really getting aggressive and pushing up over. There's not a whole lot of arty in this game. We've got a 13F3 and they've got a 304. So we can't really expect arty to dig them off the back end of that hill. We're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and do it ourselves. So there was an IS-3, a Su-100. There are still a couple tanks there. The IS-3, yeah. The ISU-152 is unaccounted for, as is the RHM. And I would suspect at least one of them is on the 1-2 line. So I don't want to be raging forward right now. Here comes the IS-3, and there's that example of I got up on that furrow and it lifted my gun up. And I don't want to stay there any longer than I have to. I'm surprised I actually didn't get spotted, and I decided, well, it's time to change this fight a little bit. I can't hang out here the whole time. Let's see if we can get a shot on him, and again, the furrow gets me. See if I can get a shot. Miss, and the LTTB is coming in. So let's work on him. I can actually get a critical that doesn't stop him, so I'm assuming I got his track, but it didn't stop him. A little bit spastic right here, trying to get a shot on this guy. Finally get one in on him. And unfortunately, he kills my SPIC, and then somebody kills him, the U-25, and we still got the IS-3. The IS-3 is tucked up behind that T-29 down there. So poking over and shooting at him is not really a good idea. He's got all that armor, and I'm going to have to be trying to snipe a hatch or something, and that's no way to do that. So I'm going to head over this way and try to get down into this low area here and come up on his side. That's the plan now. So I'm working the edges of the battle, right? I'm not going straight at this guy. I'm not continuing to poke at the same spot that I already was. I'm going to work the edges of the battle. I'm going to change where I am. Just kind of seeing if I get a highlight on him right there, but I don't. So we'll come back around this way. You can see that we're winning pretty handily now. Things look really good. That's going to change. And I'll just keep trucking. That A44 is one of the things that concerns me because it is fast and has decent spotting. So if he starts running that ridge and the enemy team starts to see me, I could have a problem right there. So I'm keeping an eye on the mini-map so I know where that guy is. You can see that this battle is still going up here. We got heavies v heavies. And now there's the IS-3 who has actually gone up the hill a little bit, which is a bad idea for him because it really gives me a clear shot on him. Oh, there's the RHM. I'm going to take a chance, get up here and try to get rid of this IS-3. I believe the E25 does it. And now I know that RHM is there. So let's see if I can get up here. There we go. Just enough to get the gun on him. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another shot before he reloads. So I'll shoot. You see when I back up, I go, as I'm backing up, I actually turn. And that's to complicate his aim. So he just doesn't have to aim straight at me. He actually has to try to track my left to right lateral movement. And I know that RHM is still there, so let's look for him. Unfortunately, my E25 is dead. I'm going to use this bush to come up and look for him, hoping to outspot him. That's a little bit dangerous because I'm really exposed there. Say he and the ISU were right down that line there and they saw me, I'd evaporate. But you can see that they're starting to even up the battle, and I'm trying to figure out how to work the edge of this battle without getting exposed and waxed by the two big TDs. Our T-34-3 is headed over there, and he's in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, he doesn't do a great job over there fighting what's in the town. Now, this is an interesting thing, and I cover this in a lot of my videos. You can see that there's two guys of theirs on the cap. So that tells us right off the bat where two of them are. Two of them. And there's not many left. So that's useful information. What I don't know is where the hell did that RHM go? And two, where is that ISU? I think I typed it in. If I haven't, I will pretty soon. I actually ask in chat, where is the ISU? Hoping that somebody knows because they've been hit by him. But I don't think I ever got a response. And then unfortunately that 44 is doing exactly what I was worried about. He starts trolling around on the middle. So I've got to back off the edge there. And now a little bit of indecision on my part, unfortunately. I'm working right now trying to figure out, all right, am I gonna push that RHM? Am I going to go all the way back around and come up on the hill potentially? Oh, there he is. Thank you. And he dies. Excellent. Now, I didn't realize he was on that low a hit point. Somebody else must have hit him along the way, so that was helpful. Okay, good. The A44 has actually gone over to the other side. So he's trying to push onto cap or mess around with our T-34 and T-29. You'll notice that the T-34 starts getting waxed here. I shoot in there thinking I'm going to knock a building down so I can fire. Still working the edges of the battle. Now what I was worried about was the ISU. Where was this guy going to be? I could have come across either below this way or drop down on this side and come up behind these guys, or at least on the flank, come to here and start shooting. But if the ISU's back here, that's going to get me dead real quick, which is why I didn't do it. That would have been the aggressive move right there. So I do futz around a little more than I would like here, but I'm still concerned where that ISU is. And I figured, well, that looks like that T-34 and T-29 are doing good. Oh, I guess not. And there goes the T-34. So that surprised me a little bit that he got killed. I do have some shots on him. I'm just going to keep moving forward. I sort of moved through the bushes a little bit. For a while there, I was about 15 meters from a bush, and I could not see the tank. So I moved forward to where I wasn't looking through bushes. It's just easier to aim that way. I knocked that building down so that I could expose that guy. And I get kind of a lucky shot right there, but hell, I'd taken so many. So we get rid of the A44. That's very helpful. That guy is sitting there. I'm going to take a couple shots in there in case he doesn't move. And then we got to start moving again. So I am pretty sure at this point that the ISU is not up in this corner. I would have suspected if he was, he'd have moved forward and he and I would have seen each other at some point by now. More than likely he's here, or maybe where I just clicked, camping up on this road, or maybe on the backside from me. So that is why I'm now headed up to that crossing, that north crossing right there, to see what I can see. And again, they put two guys on cap, which means of the 4 they have left, we know exactly where 2 of them are. Terrible idea. Do not do that. Now this is not the fastest medium that ever existed. You can see that it's kind of slow, but the gun is fantastic. I've worked the edges of this battle. I'm still alive with all my hit points. And let's see if I have any kind of say on how the rest of this battle goes. All right, great, there's that. If I had this to do again, I may have actually hit that KV-3 first because I wouldn't have had to expose myself as much. But once I saw the 304, I got excited because it's fun to kill Artie. So because the Artie's getting ready to run, and then I see the KV-3, and I knew I had to expose myself a lot more to get a shot on the KV-3, I'll just take the next shot on the KV-3. And that's kind of that shot of opportunity idea. I'll come over. I came over a little too fast, so I was trying to get to that 304. I was probably still lit, and if I wasn't lit, it wasn't for very long as I crested here, and the ISU could time that and take that shot, or he actually, no kidding, saw me that whole time because I didn't go dark. I didn't wait long enough to go dark. I got very lucky that he only tracked me. But that's what happens on range shots like that. Looks like the AC is looking at me, and we'll take him down. And again, that's why that gun's fantastic. Pretty fast reload, nice and accurate, hits hard, good pen. For a tier 6, it's great. So I've waited long enough, I believe now. I'm thinking, I did think, well, maybe he might time another shot and wax me here, but that worked out. And it's just cleanup time at this point. Came around behind him, worked the edges of the battle, and now I'll go find that 304. I know where he went. He can't get too far, in theory, although he is a little bit faster than me probably. But if he was headed up this way, that T-29 is going to see him pretty quickly. So now we're just closing in, finishing this off. Scorpion G, I guess, is on the cap there, looking for, I don't know what, cap points. There's the 304, we'll take him down. And then pretty quickly the ISU is going to die as he charges. I don't know if he's charging me or trying to get away or what exactly his plan is here, but he's coming at the T-29. There he is, and the T-29 takes him down. And that's that. So 1,791 damage, tier 6, bottom tier, and a tier 8 battle. Working the edges of the battle. This ends up being an ace tanker for the Firefly. Fantastic little tank. Really enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helps, and we will see you.